All right, guys, we're back for another session right now. We're gonna train some chest and calves. You guys know I love the calf training on chest days, and we're gonna do a little workout. A little easier than mixing right now, although I do take a little bit of Prevail on top of that. So with this workout, what I want to focus on is kind of doing some explanation of why I do what I do and how I do it. We are at Kilo Club. You guys know how we do it at Kilo. It's not going to be super busy, which is ideal for me. I'm doing what I never do. Remember when we did the sour video? We need to do that again. I think it was one of the first ads we actually did, but no, we did the protein first. But when we launched the sour flavors, we did this where we put how many pieces of sour candy we needed to put in to make the flavor like really tart. So I made that face, you know. We really highlighted that. And of course that is on the label. I don't have a sour label on me, but maybe you can put one on the screen. The sour face. That kind of told the story. So it's kind of one of those things where I learned about, branding or marketing is you want especially on social media, you want to be able to read the story without hearing the sound. So it's a visual thing. So I try to, when I think about doing different ads or different placements on, how to explain certain things, I try to use images, motion through the video to explain basically if you were sit with the silence and not seeing all the content being, with any kind of sound, you would know exactly what's going on. So I think that kind of told the story with me popping in there and making the face. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing though. I mean, people really want sour. I've had people actually hit me up and be like, man, I would like this a little sour. I'm like, are you crazy? It gets as sour as you can possibly get. I was afraid it would be too sour, but everyone's palate is different. I think we kind of nailed it. So we're gonna get some chest, some calves. We're gonna do calves first. We're gonna do some standing and seated. And I'm kind of dressed a little heavier today. I'm dressed in the collab clothes today for Young LA Black Friday coming up, November 26th. Make sure you guys check it out. Use my code Cutler on that, and let's get after it. All right, so when I'm doing this, you notice that 1-2 motion on my calf raises. Now, this is something I adapted from early days. If you notice a lot of my movements, a lot of it's a rest pause. Okay, so with this exercise, I always start with standing calf raises, and it's kind of a 1-2 motion. So I really go for that peak contraction. So when we're doing the repetitions, which is usually around 12, I just want to make sure I get that deep stretch at the bottom. That's the secret to calf growth is, a really nice stretch and then a great peak contraction. And listen, it's a stubborn muscle. So sometimes you have to adjust to a lot of reps, lower reps, heavy weight. I think the more consistency that you get your mind to muscle connection, you can get some growth out of the calves. I only train them on chest day, but I've trained them every day, every other day, 3 times a week. I've tried different variations. The standing, the seated, and the donkey calf have been my 3 main exercises. I'll do 3 working sets, so I'll do 2 warm-up sets, and then I'll do 3 working sets here, 3 working sets seated. They don't have a donkey calf machine here, so I'll have to skip that exercise, but 45 seconds, 60 seconds to rest between each set, and then we go. Now, I always start with calves to prioritize. So when I say prioritize, you know how it is. You go through a workout, like major body part, back, legs, chest, whatever. Today's chest. And what people tend to do is they say, I got to train calves, but the intensity is just not there anymore. You're spent from the workout. So what I try to do is prioritize muscles, especially like I call them minor muscles. So it'd be forearms, the calves, whatever, that you might not put as much effort to. And it shows a lot of people's physiques. So prioritize the weaker body parts. Not to say my calves are my weaker body part. It was at one point because my legs were so big, but I had to learn to prioritize that and put it first. I used to train at this Crunch Fitness in Mission Viejo when I lived in Orange County. And I literally would train twice a day. So on leg day, I would do hamstrings in the morning. I would train at 7:30 every morning. And I'd actually go back at like 2 or 2:30. And when I left in the morning, the gym was so quiet, I would load up all the leg press and the hack squat machine with all the plates. I'd have like 4 or 5 plates on each side. And I would literally go in at 2 o'clock and all that would still be on the machines ready for me to go for my first set. No one touched it. That's how little amount of traffic that gym had. It was awesome. So I would say that this gym that I'm training at now, because it's a members only private club, no day passes, no one under 21, I would say this is the closest thing to that gym. So I think it brings me back a little bit to those days where like I literally could just focus on training. There was no one there to ever converse, or like there was no conversation. That reminds me a lot of this gym. There's not a lot of conversation here, which is great. It sounds so antisocial, doesn't it? So I'm staying with the same weight on this. And like I said, I did 2 warm-up sets with that one. So, and then 3 working sets. I'll do at least 3 working sets here. So literally only 6 working sets with 2 warm-up sets is what we'll focus on with this. Like I said, the volume's a little less now. I'll go until actually I get a good pump, or, you know, like today I already have in mind, I'm gonna do an incline flat and some sort of a fly movement, and then maybe do a pullover or some sort of like some sort of an extension. I'm not really sure yet. What I'm thinking is today though, I might actually do a cable fly. So I start thinking about the workouts like day prior. So I haven't done that in a while. Put a flat bench in between the cables if it's not taken. And I might actually try to do flat cable flies, which I feel is a great movement. I don't think I've shown that in quite a while. All right, so we're gonna do this Atlantis piece, which I'm gonna start with 2 plates aside. I trained with someone last week and they're like, "You're really gonna start with 2?" I said, "Man, come on." I always make this joke. I said, it's always someone younger than me. I'm like, I'm an old man, you know. All right, so incline presses, pretty simple. You're gonna notice on these incline presses, and this goes for any incline press, I want you guys to note this. I never go full extension, so you'll never see me come all the way up. Now, what I'm trying to do is shorten up the rep range. I do this on purpose to keep constant tension on the chest. Anyone that knows or trains with me or followed my programs knows that, remember, shoulders back, chest out, squeeze. So I'm actually squeezing the pecs. I'm not just pressing. Okay, yes, you're using some of the triceps, your back, everything else, right? But I'm trying to keep the chest as the most tension as possible. And I feel like when you push too far and extend too far, you're gonna bring more of the triceps into play, the rear delts, that kind of stuff, back. So what I'm trying to do is, you'll notice the rep range is similar to this. It's just pump, pump, pump. Still gonna focus on the higher reps, you know, 8 to 12, and I'm really just trying to squeeze. So a couple sets just for feel right now. You'll see the first 2 sets. I'm gonna pyramid the weight up, maybe get up to 3 and a little bit extra on each side. This is a great machine. Very nice because it's isolateral. So you can, if you want to do one side at a time, I don't do it that way, but you'll notice the contraction. So watch how we go. Okay, seat's pretty low on this. I do keep the seat a little lower. Okay. And I do adjust, you can adjust the height on this also. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You see that? That's lock. I'm staying a little short of locking. That's full extension right there for me. Squeeze. You see that pause right there? My face always looks like I'm struggling, but I'm never struggling. It's just more focusing on contracting. All right, so the pump cover came off. And we just talked about the modern version of stringer tanks. I used to cut my tank tops to actually rip them, and then I would tie them together right here. And then I'd wear a cut shirt, and I'd have the string tank tops, you know, like a boat neck. How cheesy is that, bro?
Just like the style?
It's what it was, man. It was with the tights and all the other stuff, you know? High socks, like bushy socks, like flash dance socks. All right, so this is our final set. Staying with 3 on this. Pretty easy, but. All right, watch that motion. See how it's steady. I'm squeezing right at that top motion right there. I'll pause a little bit so you guys can see. That is my full extension right there. Good. I don't know how many reps that was, but
Felt good.
Felt good. I mean, this is our first movement. Remember, gym etiquette, always unload your weights. No matter where you are, we're always going to take our weights off. Everyone always comments. Everyone that watches my videos always comments about me. I never had someone there to just take off my plates like that. I did a little bit at the end, just because my buddy Nate wanted to, but all right, let's go do some flat dumbbell press. So my normal flat press routine, I'm probably gonna go 70s, and then we'll go 80s and maybe 90s. Okay, with this movement, I'm gonna treat it just like a barbell. So I'm not gonna come up and touch the dumbbells together. Too many people I still see are bringing their triceps in and they're touching. I'm just gonna press. Remember, short range. Okay, not full extension. So if you guys wanna comment below on why I continue to do this, I just explained it. Okay, so I still prefer this size bench. A lot of benches have a little wider pad, but for some reason, the narrower pad, it fits better on my back and allows my shoulders to come back a little more. So that's something I always pay attention to, is how wide. I try to choose a bench that's a little narrower just because I feel it better in contraction. Okay, I'll usually put my butt in that little space right there on the pad. See how I'm not touching dumbbells. Good stretch. It's pretty light, but that's contraction right there. So I'm squeezing the chest. Couple more. So good burn there. That was my goal, is to get a burn. So whenever we talk about reps, I don't care about the reps. It's just a figure. But what I'm trying to do is feel a little burn in the movement. So I think you should start feeling that burn, and that's when you kind of judge, okay, how many more reps am I going to do? Like I said, I don't want to push to absolute failure. I just want to get a good burn to the muscle. I'll get a little soreness out of this next couple days, and then I'll roll with it from there. So next set is going to be 80. And today is a 90 day for sure. They only have up to, I think, hundreds here anyway. If you want to show all right, so we'll do 80s. That's the biggest dumbbell in this gym. Some of you guys are probably like, I couldn't train there. But a lot of guys, I'll be honest, a lot of the people can't handle more than hundreds for 12 reps anyway. All right, so this is a little different, this machine. So this is called a Atlantis Pec Fly. So the motion's like this. So you guys trying to work the outer, lower pecs, all over the pec. This is a great machine for that. So you can see the adjustment is here. So if you're taller or shorter, you can see this slides up and down, right? So even you could fit in this thing. All right, so middle grip on the handles. We're gonna squeeze. So what I'm trying to do is get that contraction at the bottom right there. So great stretch at the top. And then when I come down, just like a cable crossover, I squeeze the pecs and really get that lower. So many requests on how do I build or tighten up this area. The truth is diet. Most people carry a little more body fat there. But ideally, you want to focus on declines, fly movements, like on a flat bench. This machine is really good for that. So if you can find a gym with this Atlantis Pec Fly, amazing. I'll do this every movement. Anytime I train chest here, which today is Tuesday, by the way, it's not International Chest Day. I'll try to focus on this. So notice I pop my upper body back a little bit right there. Get that stretch. All right, today we're gonna do something a little different, guys. I'm gonna show probably the most needed exercise for you guys looking to build your chest. Now, we might have some opinions on what's the best chest builder. And we're gonna focus on right now the cable flat fly. Now, when we talk about cables, we talk about the constant tension. And that's one thing you might lose with a lot of free weights is, you know, you get that bounce or that motion where you might come back and bring the other body parts in. Cables is very hard to do because you have that pulling tension all the time. So ideally, you plant yourself on the bench, okay? Get the bench straight in the middle. And we're gonna work on squeezing and contracting. I'm not as concerned about the weight. All I care about is doing at least 8 reps. So I'm gonna start with, this is about, I think it's about 70. Let's see, I'll see how this weight is. Okay. Okay, my butt's kind of in that place on the bench. You can see squeeze. Okay, contract. Good stretch. I'm coming up more over my head, right? Oh, it's a good burn. See that blood in there, man. That was a little heavy, that set. So I'm gonna lighten it up one. So I'm gonna lighten it up to about 60. So normally I would do about 60-pound dumbbells. So with this, you can see the blood in there, right? I don't know if that blood's from all this training or if it's from the liquid pump. What a shameless plug, right? You know, it's kind of funny at my age, at 51, I don't usually, number one, I don't train in a tank top. I don't think you've ever seen me train in a tank top, have you? So I don't usually care that much about how big I am, or I want to be lean. So that's why I stay so particular in my diet, and I eat consistent. Now, consistency with my eating, meaning meal planning, timing my meals every 2.5 hours, that is ideal for me to keep my metabolism. But I stay training. 7 days a week I'm training right now, with very few days off. I did take 1 day off this week just because I felt like I needed the rest. So I'm instinctively taking days off, which doesn't happen often. Like this week I do travel on Friday, so I will probably take that day off. but then I go right back and I'm training on Saturday and Sunday, even with appearances. It's kind of funny because when I go on these trips, everyone expects me to train. So they want to take advantage of me being there to train with them. Okay. Like I said, over the head, over the face. All right, last movement just for our favorite. Seems to be everyone's easiest exercise. We're gonna do the pec deck. Now this is a reverse shoulder or a pec deck. Little difference from this is really great foot placement, and your back is against the pad. That, you know, once again, I'm trying to keep my chest out, shoulders back, and really just trying to squeeze the chest. I should get 12 out of this, but this is more of a common exercise that people use in the gym. And I know it's easier. I know it's less strenuous than like a dumbbell fly or a cable fly or some other more compound movements. So it seems to be very common for people to use, whether it's male or female. Now, I'm gonna grab these handles usually. I mean, this is made, but I'm actually gonna grab the bar itself. And I'm gonna put myself a little higher off the seat. Okay, so remember, chest out. Okay, my back is tightly against the shoulders are back, and watch how my chest stays forward. Okay, get that good stretch. Not a ton of weight here, but I'm just getting that really good. I'm gonna feel this all the way through my pec, even into my upper pecs. It's all about the feel of the motion, guys. It's not about how much weight. I know it's cool, but remember, pay attention where my hands are. They're on the bar itself. I feel like I get a little more control and a little more stretch. See that from the side where my chest stays out. Okay, I'm gonna go up a little bit in weight, but I got a crazy full pump. You can see, I mean, not since you saw this from the time we started, but you know, my chest is full, right? That's the whole goal is visual and how I feel. And I feel there's a lot of blood in there. So when I judge my workouts, it may not be by sets or rep numbers. It's just gonna go by feel. Sometimes I've been in the gym, say I'm rebounding after a show and I'm starting to eat again after being so depleted and cardioed up crazy. You know, sometimes I go in the gym, I do 2 or 3 exercises and boom, I'm done. Because I'm so full with blood. It's like, okay, what else am I gonna pump at this point? It's kind of, I think it's counterproductive. I think once you get the blood in there, and you can see there's a lot of blood in my chest right now. Okay, chest out, shoulders back, squeeze. I'm gonna stay a little more constant with the motion now so you guys can kind of see. 3 more. 1. Hold. So I'll hold that last rep sometimes just to get that extra tension. Man, it's awesome. All right, so let me wrap up a little bit of what we just did today. All right, so little calf training. You guys saw, you know, standing seated calves. I talked a little bit about that. Incline Atlantis piece, kind of my main exercise. I think that movement I really prefer a lot. They do have a selectorized hammer piece over there, but once again, it's in the corner. It's a little harder to shoot on that. I'll use that sometimes. Sometimes I still do the barbell. To be honest, if I had my preference, barbell is still, I think, the ultimate upper chest builder. I don't go as heavy now, maybe 185 on that, you know, 10 or 12 reps. I'm afraid to go a lot heavier. Just as I get a little older, I'm very, very precautious about that. Not that I can't, but I'm just very concerned about injury, right? I don't want to be knocked out of the gym, especially when I travel, get dehydrated, whatnot. So that exercise, flat dumbbell fly, pretty self-explanatory. I talked about the size of the pad, shoulders back, chest, not pushing extreme weight there. I think the last set, 80s, I did 8 reps, which, like I said, don't care. Just want to get that burn. We went and we did those, that cable fly. We did that movement, talked a little bit about that. Little different. If I would give anyone, even if it's the pros that are watching this, you guys want to improve your chest, put that in your routine, please. At least once a month. I guarantee you'll see a difference in over 4 to 6 months. You'll see a difference in the chest. Great exercise. Atlantis fly piece, that piece is really good. I know gyms are very limited on what they have. Very thankful to have that in the gym, by the way. So shout out to Kilo Club because they brought that in recently. Big shout out to Atlantis out in Montreal. I can't wait to come out and check out that facility. Like I said, I don't endorse the Atlantis, but I always talk about it a lot in my videos because they make amazing equipment. I don't endorse any brand, but I do like to use different pieces. Listen, I love hammer, but I'm sitting on an Atlantis piece, right? And then the fly, okay, the Pec Deck reverse shoulder fly. Now that movement, like I said, is very standard in the gym. Once again, chest out, contract, 3 sets there, 10 or 12 reps, didn't really count, just really getting that burn. You could see this workout was very beneficial for me. Once a week, every 5 to 7 days, I'm training chest right now. Sometimes, if I miss a day or I, continue to train more, maybe it comes up a little sooner. But remember, 72 hours in between a body part. So the next time I train chest, it will be at least 72 hours later. That's ideal for me for recovery, even with my eating pattern, my sleeping pattern. I'm sleeping amazing. I'm eating perfect. I'm doing cardio probably twice a day now, which I'm not super suggestive to everyone, but it's just for me, I'm crazy, so I like to do that. My goal this winter is to be a little leaner than last winter. I am still planning to keep the roundness of the muscle. I think as you get a little older, we have this misconception that, hey, you're going to lose muscle mass. Screw that. I don't want to lose muscle mass. I just want to stay. I'm around 228 now. I know it's hard for people to believe that, but 228 is a good weight. I always thought I'd fall around 225 by the time it was said and done, maybe less. I don't know. I just want to stay a little leaner. My goal isn't necessarily the scale. It's how I look in the mirror. Like I said, a lot of that density has come down a little bit just because the eating habits have slimmed down a lot. The training volume has slimmed down. Usual time I'm training in the gym, 30 to 40 minutes. I'm not going to lie. Which you think, how do you do that? I train very quick, 45, 60 seconds. I don't usually have a training partner that allows me to be able to just focus on the training and really move through it. And you see the gym. I mean, look around. It's not busy. So whenever I choose, and the day before, I go through the workout in my head. That's one thing that I can tell you guys to really hone in on, is really trying to establish that plan, the plan of attack. So when everyone says there's no thought process that goes into bodybuilding or working, bullshit. Like, you're going in the gym and you're training with a thought process. You're going through the movements that you planned out to do, okay? Last week's workout might be kind of a guideline to the next week's, because if I had a great workout last week, this week I might follow the same kind of routine. But to be honest, this is the standard. This is the actual chest workout. I feel great. I've only eaten 1 meal today, which normally, to get a really good pump, I feel like I have to eat 2 or 3 meals. Like I said, I am testing, liquid pump product. I do feel that has a lot to do with it, with the glycerol and the arginine nitrates in there. That really does help, and it is stim-free. I did take a little bit of Prevail with it, but listen, it's just all about the movements and feeling the movements. Like I said, mind to muscle connection. It takes time to develop that. Once again, you guys have a lot of information on my YouTube channel. I'm uploading every week, whether it's jaywalking or both, or a training segment. Once again, we're putting this content out for educational purposes. So if you can take a small piece of it, you don't have to take the whole routine. Maybe you'll use the routine over the next few weeks, but I encourage you to follow along. Comment below, guys, if you have something you want to add to, hey, maybe there's something different that I could do, or you have tried of mine, or you maybe do the same routine. Talk about the cable flies, talk about the incline machine that works better. Talk about the barbells. Like, some of you still sticking to barbells. Do you stick to all dumbbells? Do you flat bench? That's the key, okay? Do you still flat bench? Do you go up? How heavy do you go? That's the question. So answer those questions, get some engagement on the chat. And I love to chime in. I love to see the communication within my community, the people that follow, because we have age demographic here from teenage to 60, 70 years old. I know some of you have been following this for a long time. We have well over 1 million now on YouTube. And listen, I thank you guys all for following along. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please, just like it, comment, and hit that subscribe button. Why not? It's something you might pick up along the way. Engage in there, and stay tuned for more content. Once again, we're here at Kilo Club, Las Vegas. It is now November, and we're heading into a new year soon, 2025. So stay along for J-Mac and I, and JayCutlerTV. We are out.
No mercy for you, no worries for you. That Game of Thrones, go Cersei on you. I flipped the script, I roll the dice. Don't fall asleep, cause I'm working nights. Hey.